So here we are, guys, the final episode of Fairy Tail ZERØ. What a ride, what an emotional thriller that we got to say, and holy shit, if you wasn't at least like biting your lip trying to hold in those tears, or at least like clenching that chest, or at least feeling a little teary-eyed at the end of this episode, then goddamn, you have no feelings at all, because I'm not gonna lie, trying to hold it in while another like person's in the corner just like, yo, this is getting pretty emotional, man, like this is really getting upsetting, as we get to see the farewell between ZERØ and Mavis. I gotta say, the entire whole illusion thing, like just having that all come out like at the end, and I gotta say I really did like what the fairy tale thing actually did, like the whole ZERØ thing. It's actually a combination of the A and the O together, and it was just like, oh shit, you know, that's a combination that actually means fairy tale ZERØ. Actually is like one way you can say it. It's like, oh shit, so they were probably trying to tell you all along in the anime that, you know, who it was. Now this is the thing, it's kind of very obvious to notice in both the manga and the anime. Anime kind of really throws it in your face about the whole situation about it, since you obviously have like 20 minutes, you know, through like 10 episodes, like to show like, okay, they've never had any communication with any other characters, so what's kind of going on there. So it's like, definitely, I know some people that got taken on the loop with that, but it was like kind of after the manga, I kind of had my doubts of that, and once it got revealed, it's like, oh shit, you know, that. But it was nice to finally get that nice little like extra part about, oh shit, the A and the O actually combined together to make the ZERØ. I thought that was actually kind of clever. And man, those feels when you heard them like getting their goodbyes, and you were seeing like all the moments that they spent together, and it was like kind of the whole little fairy tale thing kind of came from like, as well as ZERØ's tales and the question of the eternal adventure about like fairy tales, like, oh, do they have tiles that are like, do they have tales, like, you know, an endless adventure that we can always go on? And I'm not gonna lie, when you got to see like ZERØ for the first time, Yuri got to see her, and it was just like, please take care of Mavis. I was like, no, I can't cry, I can't, like that, it's too much. It was like, it was really emotional, like farewell, and it was like, even with like Ward and Brett kind of giving their own opinion about it, and kind of seeing the fairy dust saying like, you know, like disappearing with the magic, and it was like, that was really upsetting, and kind of seeing like how she was kind of dealing with it. It was just, she wanted to be left alone for a while, and then even just walking around the city, and it was kind of sad, like she was just there like sitting down just by herself, and she was just always like, yeah, what should we do next, ZERØ? And it's just like, she's just always gone back to that, and it's just like how she must have looked crazy in front of everyone. It's just like, you can't help but this poor like just little girl, like how much she gone through like over the years. Like she would have probably gone crazy if it wasn't for the fact that she didn't have that bit of imagination in her to protect her, because, you know, all those years alone, like with nothing but books, of course you're gonna like make like a fail-safe mechanism going through this shit. It was nice as well, and then also as well, like the kind of like everyone of the townspeople like of the theory is like, well, of Magnolia just saying like, oh shit, we're a bit fucked, didn't we? Because like, even though these guys were curb stomping us on the ground and kind of killing our relatives, they kind of paid our bills, so we kind of need to change this shit. And it's like, oh, well, we could start a guild, you know, we can bring customers in, we can bring, like, trade going around the city, and it was like, they managed to, like, get aligned, like, with a bunch of people, and I was like, I wouldn't have actually minded, like, since it was 10 episodes, and I'm kind of curious if we're going to get a new opening at all, like, next week, since, like, I know the magazine got spoiled recently, kind of, like, it got leaked a bit, so I'm kind of worrying, like, if a bit of that has something to do with saying, hey, we're getting a new Fairy Tail opening, or if we're just going to keep the same one for, like, 2 episodes, so I'm kind of wondering about that, although Fairy Tail has had early openings once before, so kind of a little bit, like, wondering about that, like, what's going to be happening with that situation. But it was nice to see them at the end and finally getting the whole rundown of what happened in the entire timeline. Like, Mavis and them were all into like a second like whole trade war. That's kind of where she got the whole tactician part from, making like the whole place a sacred land. Finding out that, you know, that Yuri died as well, and it was like, okay, there has to be some questions, because like they left still some questions left unanswered in the series, and that's definitely stuff to be saved for the main series as well. It's like, okay, yeah, we still didn't know, like, kind of, like, what really happened to Yuri, apart from that he died, also, as well, the whole thing about having to make this, there was a lot of answers, also, then, like, haven't gone, like, you know, like, we need some more stuff going on, because we just got a lot more questions than answers than we did right at the end of the Fairy Tail. But I did get some emotions when you saw, like, all of them taking the first picture together, like, when the first founding members, that was kind of emotional to see that. And honestly, if people saw that last bit of the episode right there, you get to see the time skip. You get to see a glimpse of Lucy in the time skip, and the preview. Well, I'm going to save that for another video. You can click down below probably there. I'll probably have that video uploaded, because I want to say that there's a lot of things I have to say about that preview. But it's like, yeah, you see a glimpse before the preview, you get to see Lucy. And I was like, yo, that I'm getting really hyped now that we're going back into canon. I'm really looking forward. I know a lot of people are going to lose their minds a little bit once we get to see that next part, that next episode. So for those people that, like, you didn't have to wait long. It was only 10 weeks. It was like, yeah, I know that's like 2 months, but still, it was a really enjoyable, like, compared to, like, what filler we've had, Fairy Tail has probably, I would say, out of every main shonen series, apart from that one filler that it had going on, like, and that was really, like, that's the worst that Fairy Tail's been. Like, I think Fairy Tail has had the best fillers, like, honestly, like, considering that 2 out of 3, if you count Fairy Tail Zero, even though it's a spin-off, even though it is canon, technically, like, you know, if you consider, like, Fairy Tail Zero is filler in its own way, it's like, then, yeah, like, I'd say 2 out of 3 fillers, that's goddamn amazing, if you're not including, like, the Daphne stuff in, like, this stuff, that's, like, that's goddamn amazing out of all of this, like, holy shit. And even if you do include the Daphne, like, what, like, 3 out of 4? Like, come on, that's even better, like, come on, like, really enjoy that shit. So, honestly, I look forward to, like, the next episode a lot, but we'll save that down below. That's all for me. So honestly, I really enjoyed this episode. They really made an emotional hit with that and setting up the hype for getting back into Fairy Tail canon. Definitely, I give this one a 9 out of 10. I definitely loved Fairy Tail Zero. Might even do a review of Fairy Tail Zero as a whole as well to give people sort of opinions on it. But that's up to you guys in the comment section down below as well. Would you like me to do that? I could actually replace the discussion next week and I could actually bang out a Fairy Tail Zero full series review for you guys. But we'll have to wait and see. But that's all from me, so thank you much for watching. As always, I've been Savagezweipanda, and you Fairy Tail fans love this video and love Fairy Tail, then you should definitely like this video and subscribe as well, because there's just way more Fairy Tail content on this channel than you can even know what to do with. But that's been me, so thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll leave you with that question: do fairies have tails? I'll see you guys next time.